Chris Eubank Jr. has to decide whether facing Canelo Alvarez in Las Vegas makes financial sense. Good Lord.
Push the weight enough flex alive is 1 in the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You ain't run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Oh boy. Drew Titan Bronson on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Wow. Boxing scene. Link will be in the description. You guys can read this yourself. I encourage you to do so. Chris Eubank is trying to decide whether facing Canelo Alvarez in Las Vegas makes financial sense. Now, it's a whole article here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But Eubank's promoter believes that the chances of him facing Canelo is 50-50, which means it's a possible reality. That means the talks are real. It was a surprise to us, especially with the names that he could have fought. The main person being David Benavidez. But it's become clear that Canelo is afraid of that man and wants zero smoke. And yeah, I said it. He's afraid of that man. He's terrified of that man because if he wasn't, he'd fought him. Bottom line, you know, I don't care if you're an unconditional Canelo Alvarez fan. My question to you is, if he wasn't afraid of him, why aren't they fighting? The fight makes sense. And you guys don't think he can beat David Benavidez. Matter of fact, you don't want to see Canelo get dominated. That's a fear that you have. And it's gotten to the point where Canelo's literally, y'all like to throw around this term, cherry picking. He's now picking opponents that you guys don't even pick to beat him. I mean, let's be honest. And I say this respectfully, but this is boxing, right? There has to be a winner, there has to be a loser. No one thinks that Chris Eubanks Jr. could beat Canelo Alvarez. But in the UK, it's a money fight, which is why they're debating whether fighting in Vegas makes financial sense. So I understand their position, but their position is Canelo pretty much runs the negotiating table because he's Canelo. He's the face of boxing, right? So it's no question he's going to get a bigger share of the pot. He has a better resume. He's a bigger star. But do they do bigger numbers in the UK than in Vegas? Well, let me ask y'all something. These are two non-American fighters, so technically we have no horse in the race. But let me ask. Is everybody in the UK saying that Canelo has a country behind him? I'm just asking. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the chat. If you're from the UK, let me know if y'all get that same conversation. He has a country behind him. Do y'all say that about Canelo? You know? On the outside looking in, and I'm not a businessman, I'm going to assume that it may do better numbers in the UK because UK fans, they support UK fighters. I'll say that. They do. I think it'll do slightly better in the UK. The door will do better wherever they have it, whether it be Wembley or wherever they, whatever venues they have over there. I mean, Canelo can fight Chris in Vegas, but you have a Mexican fighter versus a UK fighter on American soil. The Mexicans will come out and support. To me, and Canelo already fought in the UK. Didn't he fight Beefy in the UK? I mean, go over there and fight Eubanks if this is a reality. See if we can get it done. I think, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. I think it'll do better in the UK. You know, just read something from the article. Something I saw here. This is a quote from Team Eubank. She says, "I think anyone that fights Canelo knows that, whether it's David Benavidez or anyone else that's been talked about. But I think for Chris, he's such a big name in the UK. Every time he fights, he generates interest and money. As a promoter, all you can do sometimes is get the deal on the table and present it. Ultimately, it comes down to the fighter and whether financially it works for him." So they say it's 50-50 occurring in September. We've heard Edgar Berlanga, that's a big Mexico versus Puerto Rico type thing. Seen that before. Look, at this point, whether you think Berlanga's ready or Eubanks will ever be ready, because he's in his 30s, it's irrelevant. Canelo's clearly doing what you want to do now. Y'all know I'm not a numbers guy. I really don't like talking about this too much. This video is more about why is Eubanks even an option? Why? Money? That's the only thing I could think of. Is money. He's not getting any cool points with this, Canelo. He's not. Nobody was thinking about this. And I say this respectfully. This is just a payday for Eubanks, and he's not going to go in there and lay down. I think he's going to try and win it, especially if it happens in the UK. So salute to him if he lands it. In fact, I'll be rooting for him. You know why? Out of general principle. Canelo got to be stopped, man. This is ridiculous at this point. I don't want this fight, man. I don't even want the Berlanga fight, and I say that respectfully. We all want one fight. David Benavidez. Do you guys realize at 168, there are, I'll say killers, but y'all don't look, man, half of y'all don't even watch boxing like that, man. But let me just run down some names. First, let me just give you the facts. Okay. Canelo's undisputed at super middleweight. Technically, he has 4 responsibilities, but here's what's a fact. He has 2, not 1, but 2 mandatories. David Benavidez, WBC, and David Morrell. He got 2 Davids. He got a Cuban and an American / Mexican / Ecuadorian, I believe. His 2 responsibilities, and both of them, everyone's saying will give Canelo a good scrap. He's not even looking in that direction. He's looking past David Morrell and considering Edgar Berlanga. He's looking past David Benavidez, and Eubanks is ranked where? He hasn't even fought at 168. Wait a minute. Holy cow. This is the main point, ladies and gentlemen. And I need you guys to understand this. Do y'all know Chris Eubanks is fighting at 160? So here this dude goes again, pulling somebody up with a weight advantage. So let me ask you a question. It's okay for him to pull up Chris Eubank Jr. for the money fight, but he don't want to fight David Benavidez, who can make 168. You want to put a rehydration clause on him? Do it. But Chris Eubanks is a middleweight. Why are y'all allowing Canelo to get away with this? David Morrell fights at 168. David Benavidez fights at 168. William Skull is ranked number 1 in the IBF. Diego Pacheco is ranked number 1 in the WBO. Ain't no one really checking for him, so I get it. William Skull is a Cuban. So I get it. He's what I call a sleeper cell. But you're gonna look past David Morrell and fight the ranked number one Edgar Berlanga in the WBA? Okay, watch this. Even if you look past David Benavidez in the WBC, Christian Mbili is ranked number one. He's a legitimate threat. So Mbili, Berlanga, Skull, Morrell, Benavidez, at least they're all at 168. You want to potentially go to the UK and fight Eubank Jr.? Why? Man, I'm so sick of this sport sometimes, man. And y'all let this guy do this. So now Chris is talking about, man, does it make financial sense? Absolutely, if it's in the UK. But if it means you getting a bigger pot, you ain't gonna do big numbers in America because you're not American. Ain't nobody gonna come out here and really support that. There's gonna be more support for Canelo. And I don't even know if you're a big enough name over here for people to even care. So I think he would maximize his dollar going to the UK. But why at 160 is Canelo even considering fighting him? So again, y'all, he can fight Eubanks pulling him up from 160, but he won't fight Benavidez at 168. But when I say he's scared, yeah, man, this is crazy, man. And y'all support this guy Canelo, man. But whatever, man. I guess get your bread, Chris, right? I guess it's get your bread. Because the integrity in boxing never existed. It never existed. And when I stand in the pocket and speak up on things, y'all find reasons to say that we make excuses, man. This is pathetic. Canelo's pathetic. Just hang it up, bro. You're going to the Hall of Fame. Hang it up. Get out the way. Get out the way so these guys can get to work. I would love to see David Morrell versus David Benavidez and Berlanga and Christian Mbili. There's a lot of talent. William Skull, Pacheco. There's a lot of talent at 168, man. Stop holding up the division and cherry picking your way through life at this point, man. Get out of here.
Move!